Eyelashes. Do you guys have eyelashes? But we're just going to build the word lash. Here you go, lashes. Can you say the word lash and then pull each sound down and say it? Very nice. Let me hear the sounds. And the word is? Bingo. Okay, let's switch lash to lush. When something is lush, it is full. Like a lush garden is a full garden with lots of flowers. So switch it from lash to lush. What sound is it? Very good. Okay, let's check the sounds. And the word is? Did you hear those sounds? Let me hear them. Nice. Okay. How about, are you ready to make flush? Don't forget to flush the toilet, okay? Flush, we're going to have to add something to make lush into flush. What are you going to add? Flush. What sound are you pulling down? Oh, I like how you fixed that. Nicely done. Okay, let me hear the sounds. And the word is lush. Okay, let's do the sounds together, everybody. Awesome. Flash. If you have a picture and in the dark and you want to make some light, you may turn on the flash on the camera. Okay? So you've got flush. Switch it to flash. Flash. So close. You've got falsh. So close. You need, listen to what you need. Look at me and look at here. Yeah, you fixed it. Check the sounds. Very close. Ash. Okay, let's go back and check it again. And the word is? Flash. Do you see sometimes a flash in your eyes when somebody's taking your picture? Does it make you blink? Okay. Flash. Let's switch it to flesh. Our flesh is like our body. This is my flesh, okay? Flesh. Switch from flash to flesh. So close. Almost everybody's got it. You actually made flish. And we want flesh. Oh, good fix. Tell me the sounds.
Flesh.
Yep, each by himself. And the word is flesh. Okay, you want to cover them up? That's good. Let's cover the next one, okay? You've got flesh. Switch it to fled. I fled away from the danger. Fled. So you have been playing a game, perhaps. It's called Switch It. Switching kids from mad to, say, how do you switch it to Matt? And then you ask them, how do you switch Matt to sat? And they pull down that s. And then you say, how do you switch it to sit? And we challenge them with their short vowel knowledge. You've been playing this Switch It, many of you, haven't you? And it's been amazing to see teachers, parents, grandparents all over the world test out this simple activity. It looks like it's really no big deal, but with the principles that we've baked into this challenge that we had last week called the Level Up Your Reader's Achievement in the Next 5 Days, the principles that we baked in, you all saw outstanding results. And so I'm just here again to celebrate you. Thank you so much for joining in. I thought we would have a little Q&A to hear if there are things that are left outstanding, because there's a lot of information flying by, and I know many of you are in the classroom and didn't have, full attention to every single night. So if you want to tie up some loose ends, get some question answered, I'm going to be here for a little while to do that. Also, on Friday, I invited you to go deeper into the Reading Simplified system and join us inside the Reading Simplified Academy. And for this special event, we're offering a discount through Wednesday. So if you think that Switch It was pretty amazing, You may be pleasantly surprised to learn how when you put the whole package together, you get unbelievable results. And that's what we aim for. Really outstanding, accelerated results for our students. And once teachers learn the system, then they have less prep and less stress. So I'm going to invite you to ask questions about the Reading Simplified Academy too, if you have that. And probably what you're even more than anything else interested in, we're going to figure out who is the grand prize winner. So let's do a little Q&A first, and then we will announce our winner. Okay? Who is excited? I appreciate this participant. My pleasure. It has been my privilege to share these ideas because basically 20 years ago, I stumbled upon these activities, these lessons. They made such a big difference for me as a private tutor. But then I saw my students go back into the classroom and struggle a little bit or get conflicting advice because the mainstream suggestions were so counter to what I had seen work. And we've had some things change, but not a lot has changed in those 20 years. So we still need to get the message out about how reading is, beginning reading, or for those who are struggling, is really much more about learning how sounds and symbols connect. And when we do this activity, it is a perfect way to show how a sound and a symbol lines up, how it connects, how to crack the code. And what's our grand prize, by the way? Did you know what the grand prize is? It's a whopping big prize this time. We're so thankful to have a set of decodable readers from Phonic books to give away to one lucky grand prize winner we're going to announce soon. But that's not all. Also a set of whole phonics books we're going to be giving away. Both of these programs we have information about on our website, so you can Google that, or their company name, of course. But I did a review of whole phonics, and we had one of the creators of Phonic books on our show. And same thing with this, the Crazy Longs from Sound Readers. We had Martha, the creator of this, on our show, so you can learn more about that on our website. And this cute little stamper for, you can't really see it. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. I'll take it out of the box. It just creates dotted lines for handwriting practice for those beginners. Really early on. So cute. And then a full set of Reading Simplified materials for one grade level. It's like a $200 value. So that's what the grand prize winner is going to snag today. But let's do a little Q&A. What are the questions that you have about Switch It, about the Reading Simplified system, about reading in general, about the Reading Simplified Academy? I am honored to be here and see what we can do to help. Also, Greg, if you can, let's do two things actually. Let's first put in the link for the recap page. Greg, can you put that in the link? So this, if you missed some of the challenge, this one-page site will give you the big picture, okay? And so it starts off with a little bit of explanation about the Reading Simplified Academy, if you want to know more about that. And then you get day 1, day 2, etc. Get the picture? So you don't have to go and hunt and pack inside the Facebook group. It's right there for you. So Greg can put the link in for that. And also, again, if you want to jump into the Reading Simplified Academy, learn the full system, we're offering a discount, $100 off the annual price and $10 off the monthly price. So that is a possibility for you. If you want to jump right into here, within a minute of purchasing this paid membership, you can be inside the Reading Simplified Academy, head down here to the main course and learn the full Reading Simplified system. It's about an 8 to 10 hour course. So if you chip away at that, about 20 minutes a night, you'll be done in less than a month to know an entire system for teaching anyone how to read. Switch It is an amazing activity, but it's just the beginning. So those are two things that would be helpful. There we go, Greg. Thank you. He's got the recap page. And also, if you're ready to join, let us know. We'll cheer for you. We'd love to applaud you and welcome you. So you can also put in the link to join, Greg. Thank you so much. So let me go scroll back and see what questions we've got from you guys. Where did I buy my magnetic letter tiles? So this was, this is a set of just, it's called Mactivity Tins from Really Good. I think maybe Really Good Stuff. Yeah, Really Good Stuff, reallygoodstuff.com. And I got a couple different colors. This one's green, but I've got a green screen thing on. So anyway, I got 4 of these in a pack. They were not with letter sounds. What I did was I took the letter sounds that we offered to you all in the Switch It guide, and then I just put a sticky magnet on the back. So I bought the magnets, sticker magnets, and just created those myself. So, good question. Dina is a Reading Simplified member and has been great. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you here. Shannon thinks it's been an exciting week, so that is cool. It has been for me. I mean, like, we've done this since, like I said, 2016, but it still amazes me how big of a difference this one simple activity can do. So, yay. We're going to get to that grand prize winner soon, but we also want to make sure that your questions are answered. So, Isabel, how would you do Switch It with a non-speaking child? Say the sounds for him until he can maybe say those someday. Exactly, yeah. See if he can do the work. Okay, so you do a lot of oral to overlay the fact that he's not responding for whatever reason. You have sit, and we want to change it to sip. Which one should we take away? So then the child can do the taking away the t. Now, what sound do you hear here to make it sip? Can you think of that sound? So maybe you can't get him to articulate, but can you challenge him? Can you think of what sound do you hear when I say sip? And maybe, can you make that, can you show me what your lips would look like? I don't know if that's a possibility, but anything you can get them to do to encourage accountability, and you might not know whether or not they're really doing it. So, but just try it. And then after you try to get them to come up with the sound, then, okay, which one of these would be? Okay, as you pull it down, I want you to think, and like you said, overlay the sound for them. So I think that will work, and it'll make those connections. Great question. Thank you, Isabel. Okay, great. So here is a new member to the Academy. She got involved, or he got involved with the Switch It challenge, and now you're getting ready to do the Academy, but of course you can't do it all at once, especially if you did the challenge. So we're excited to have you join us soon. What questions? Oh, good question here, Deb. Will the recap videos stay on the Facebook page indefinitely? Yes, the recap videos will stay on the Facebook page, the Facebook group indefinitely. That is what, if you're new here, that is the Level Up Readers Achievement 2021. I will bring it up. And if you go to guides, you will see those videos. But if you want it all on one page, that will only be available to you until Wednesday. We're trying to put the pressure on you because, frankly, we're all like this. This is human nature. If we don't have a deadline, we probably will just procrastinate and then not get to it. So we want you to keep the learning going. So that's why that recap page is disappearing on Wednesday when the discount goes away. So here is that group if you don't know about it. And if you were to head to guides, you could see all the 5 days of this past week there. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. The group may be archived, which means that we shut down future comments to be made. So it's a pop-up special group for this event, but you can always go back and see past things. It's just that you won't be able to create new posts. Because once this sale is over on Wednesday, we really want to put a lot of our energy into serving all of the new people that are coming into the Reading Simplified Academy with as much energy as we have given into this complimentary challenge. Kim, in the Switch It guide that was complimentary, I would use this. I would start probably with the last page for your older readers, and then beyond that, maybe make up nonsense words. We've talked about that before on the challenge. You can see, in fact, there was an example on, I think, day 4 of a 6th grader working with 5 sounds. But and I'm not sure if she did nonsense words, but a nonsense word example that would challenge an older reader would be, you have splond, change it to splind, change it to sprind, change it to sprint, which is a real word, change it to sprist, and so on. Usually I do not bother to put the letters in alphabetical order, just mostly randomly, but I tend to like, particularly for the beginner, I like to, and just for order, I like to put the vowels on the left and the consonants and the consonant digraphs on the right. But it's really no big deal. Do what makes sense to you. Yes, we do have a scope and sequence. It's a really big deal. It's an important part of the Reading Simplified system. You can see a sneak peek of it at the recap page in the video. If you somewhere in this first video, I explain what is inside the Reading Simplified Academy, and you can see our scope and sequence. At least I think I show an example of a kindergarten one. We have 3 scope and sequences. One is for kindergarten reading level, one is for 1st grade reading level, and one is for 2nd grade and up reading level, because frankly, once they're at that 2nd grade level, whether they're at a 2nd grade level or they're a 9th grade student reading at a 5th or 6th grade level, they still pretty much need to go through the same sequence. So we only choose 3, and they're all very similar with slight variations. I'm not sure what Maribel's talking about, but we're so glad that there is joy in the house. Jennifer is an excellent Reading Simplified teacher, and she says she's been a member for about 3 years and is the best PD I have ever had. So many gains for her students. Love it. We're so glad that she is here. Oh, this is fun. Someone's using, making their own Switch It cookie sheets. Take a cookie sheet and you spray paint them until you make them colorful. Is that why you're spray painting them? I love it. Ooh, here's an insight. There are magnetic sheets that you can use in your printer. Okay, yeah, because I printed these on cardstock, cut them out, and then I stuck a sticky thing on the back. That maybe that would be even faster to have a magnetic sheet. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, Jennifer's talking about that scope and sequence. We call it a streamlined pathway because it is just 12 levels to get from not reading to fluency. Deb, this is wonderful to hear. You're going to work with one-on-one with a few students in the upcoming week. Okay, sweet. What are your questions? If you're just coming in, we're doing a Q&A about reading, about Switch It, about the Reading Simplified Academy, and then we're going to have our grand prize winner. The slides. I'm not sure, Leanne, what you're referring to. We have the videos stored in the Level Up Reader's Achievement in 2021 in the guide section, and it's also in the recap page. I did edit out the beginning because I didn't start until like 2 or 3 minutes after we gathered an audience, but I didn't have slides, so I'm not sure what you're asking there. Okay, Isabel, I'm glad that, at least sort of gave you what I would try. Ooh, this is interesting. Who thinks this is a good idea? So if you don't know what she's talking about or he's talking about, a Sort It challenge. So Sort It is our activity that we use after the kids have gotten about 70% of the short vowels mastered. Then we move on to advanced phonics and teach long vowels or diphthongs or any of those crazy vowels where one sound can have multiple spellings, like in O. It can be the O and go and the O and boat, the O and grow. We talked about this on Friday in day 5's video, and you could see it on the recap. So that's really interesting idea. The tricky thing about it is that if you don't have Switch It as a foundation for it, there's not as much growth with Sort It, because Switch It helps kids basically, it's not literally open up their eyes, but it kind of metaphorically, to me, it opens up their eyes to see how the code works, and so then they can get the phonics information to stick. So that's why I haven't done that before. Maybe it could be for alums of the Level Up Challenge. If you've only done Switch It, then you could join in. But yeah, other people like that idea. Yes, that can be reached by email. If you've already been into this challenge, and if you haven't, join now. Greg, can you put the link to join up into this challenge so that you can get access to anything else we send out about recaps? But on any of those emails, you can respond to me, and either I or one of the people on my team will answer that. We answered this question at the beginning of the video, Kathy. The special offer is for the Reading Simplified Academy. So if you jump in between now and Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at midnight Eastern, you will be given a discount off our regular pricing. So you're normally, to become a member of the Reading Simplified Academy, it's $347 annually. That's just actually for the first year. We do a veteran or a loyalty discount that's considerable for anyone in the second or third or whatever number of years. So the first year's normally $347. The second, third, fourth years are those years are just $147 each. And for this event, we're offering it at $247. But if you don't want to take the annual, and you just want to do the monthly, it's normally $39 today, and until Wednesday, it's $29 per month. Both are a subscription option that keeps you in our community until you want to let you let us know via email that you're ready to cancel. So there's no long-term contract. You can join for a month, you can join for 5 months, you can join for 3 years, like many of the people who are here cheering you all on. Catherine, I'm not sure I understand your question, so tell me more about that. Ooh, what's the best way to store the letters for Switch It? My favorite is a craft box, like from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, that type of store. Sometimes the dollar store has it. They often store like thread in them, but a little, it's about this big. Okay, some things just fell, but I can pick it up later. This is one that I like. It's about the size of a sheet of notebook paper, a little smaller maybe. And it's pretty good if you even put a sticker up here and label which sounds you want to be in each storage. Other people take a list and then put letter sounds for each list in a baggie. And so they just get the baggie out. It's got level 1A. They get the baggie out, put it on the table, the kids use it, and then they put it away. So there are a lot of other ideas. Inside the Reading Simplified Academy, we have great discussions about that because there's an infinite number of ways that you guys have been creative. Another thing that I've seen is a pocket chart, small one or large one. Colleen, great to hear that you've already had great results with your struggling kindergarten students. That's what we're all about. Stephanie says, if you have students who do not know their letters, what do you suggest? Well, do you remember what happened on day 1 with this challenge? So we had a little boy who did not know his letters except for 7, and some of the letters he knew were completely useless, not completely, but nearly useless. It was V and K. So he learned the letters in the challenge. He went from knowing 7 letters to knowing 20 in 5 days because we did this activity. Now, if you have a student who doesn't even know 5 letters, then we recommend an activity called Build It, which is the same thing as Switch It, but there's no switching. And it's just easier, and they learn how to hear sounds in words. They learn about the alphabetic principle, and they learn the letter sounds. So I didn't mean to do sap because that's not a very good word. Let's build the word sat. What do you hear at the beginning of sat? And so you go through the same sequence, and all they're aiming to do is pull this down, and check it, so they can learn letter sounds this way. Then I might do mat, and I might do mad. A few letter sounds that we can scramble around. Maybe add in a P and make it sap and tap and map. And if anybody has access to the Build It, we've got 2 articles at Reading Simplified about Build It. Yeah, this makes sense. How many of you were skeptical when I said these crazy things at the beginning and we talked about leveling up? I mean, everyone's out there trying their best, and if it's that easy, reading curriculum would have done this, right? But when you actually do it, seeing is believing, right? So thank you for saying that. That's helpful. Yes, you can jump in, Jacqueline, as a member if that's what you mean, in December, but you just won't get that discount that we're offering right now. Maybe you can get your if you're a teacher, maybe you can get your administration to pay for it. Okay, here's a suggestion. Yeah, instead of my craft box, the fish and tackle box, they're a little bit bigger usually. I like that. There's some other ideas here. Thank you, Kim, and the others who put in some suggestions for that. Okay, so Jacqueline wants the link to join. Greg, if you have that, that would be great to pop in again. Oh, there's the Build It link. Thank you. Deb says she does build at the beginning of the year. I bet you have kindergarten students. Beyond kindergarten, I don't recommend it because it's too easy and you can get a lot more bang for your buck with Switch It, which we saw this week. Anna is a Reading Simplified Pro as well, and she says it is by far the most helpful learning to read course I have ever done. I now just use these few but rich strategies in my tutoring and all my students learn to read. She handles like 25 to 30 kids at a time. I mean, they don't come to her simultaneously, but she's juggling a large caseload and she just relies on Switch It and Read It and Sort It and decodable books and rereading and she's successful. All right. It is in US dollars, and so the exchange rate can be a little higher, but as Anna, who's in Australia, says, it's so worth it. Okay, Jacqueline, what do you need? Are you new to this challenge? Are you interested in the challenge or just interested in more information about Switch It? Let us know there. I'm scrolling back because I'm sorry if I missed some of you, if your questions or comments earlier. Okay, what happens when the kid keeps forgetting the sounds? Don't do the warm-up of the sounds first. Like, what's this? What's this? G. What's this? B. What's this? D. Okay, that is what a lot of programs do, and it's not bad, but what do you get when instead you do the same practice, the same challenge, and you make them go from sat to sad? This is harder than just being shown one thing all by itself. So anytime you have the opportunity to level up the challenge, they're going to be more stimulated and they're going to grow more. So if they're not learning it, it's because Switch It alone is not enough. It's super powerful, but we need to also make sure that they're reading real words. And so they're going to practice their letter sound knowledge there. We need to make sure that they're writing real words, and then they're also reading real words in books. And that's how we flesh out a Reading Simplified lesson. We have, for the beginners, we have Switch It and Read It and Write It. Those are core word rec activities that we get started to learn short vowels and consonants and consonant digraphs. And then later we add in Sort It, which is how to handle advanced phonics like the long vowel and diphthongs and other tricky vowels. So that's my recommendation. Now, that's not to say that there's never a time where studying something in isolation is a bad idea. But generally, particularly in the beginning, the more you can put the letter sound study in the context of real words, I find that they get more out of it, because then you're not just studying D by itself, which can be meaningless if they're really beginner. But the word mad and dad, that has more meaning. There's more hooks for that D to connect in the brain. It connects with sounds and the visual symbols and semantic vocabulary. So all those connections are being made. Whereas if you just do this by itself, what's this? It's less, fewer connections, fewer neural circuits are being built with that. But again, it's not like I don't mean to say never do it in isolation, but generally I think it's inefficient as compared to doing it with Switch It. Okay, I think this is the same question. Should we go over the phonemes with the children? I don't think so. You're going over them when you say, how do you change sat to sad? That is the going over. That is excellent practice. Now, if they can't, if they figure out that sat, the T needs to go, and then they do the wrong sound, and they've already said duh, and they pull this down, and then they do it again in the lesson, they don't really remember that this is duh. What that tells you is that you're going to create a list tomorrow with duh, and you're going to do read it with duh, and you're going to give them some write it with duh. It doesn't mean that you need to just do stuff in isolation. Leanne's clarifying that question. The day's lesson. Okay. Are you talking about like our 3-component lesson plan? We almost always do 3 components, and I can show you that. I'll show you where we have it. In fact, inside the Reading Simplified Academy, if I go to right here, the main course, and I go to the intro. In the intro and the welcome, you're going to learn about the big picture of Reading Simplified. And there's nothing more important than this
Reading Simplified page.
Let's see if I can find it.
Thousands and thousands.
Okay, where is it?
Reading and
On through the guided reading. I think it's maybe back here.
So
the 3-component lesson plan.
Course. The course will give you a 10-hour certificate, and each of these workshops will give you 1 or sometimes 2 hours.
Well, so much for my great idea of finding it here. If I could figure out how to mute this, I would just let this play. Where's the mute button? I should have had my headphones in. Let me just try a few more seconds bouncing around here. It's a big deal, so I know it's, oh, there we go. Okay. So the 3-component lesson plan. Is this what you were talking about, Leanne? Let me make this bigger. If I can, but I can't. History, here we go. Okay. How about this? We do these 3 components almost every day for about 20 minutes if we're in a small group situation. Private tutors who work for 45 minutes or an hour, they do it across an hour. Rereading for fluency, and then word work. We're going to choose usually 2 or 3 of these activities. We don't hit all of them. And then guided oral reading. Guided oral reading is, at the beginning, it is coaching this child to read aloud challenging, mostly decodable texts that target usually the vowel that they're working on in word work. So with Switch It and Read It, maybe they're working on short I. They're going to read a passage for guided oral reading that works on short I. And we have some things that make our guided oral reading and rereading for fluency level up as compared to traditional practice. And that's how we get the high frequency words to be learned, and we get them decoding at a higher level. And then after about the 4th, 5th, or 6th step on our streamlined pathway, kids are not just reading mostly decodable books, they're also reading early transitional texts like Frog and Toad, Henry and Mudge, Messy Bessie. So that's how we parted the system for leveling up. I hope that was helpful to your question. Candy, Read It is reading a word by itself. You saw an example of that on Friday in the day 5 video, if you want to go back to that. Guided reading is reading connected text. As I just said, we're going to start usually with mostly decodable text, and then fairly quickly fold in not just something that studies a particular phonic sound, but is something that's going to challenge the student with more naturalistic word choices, and also build high frequency knowledge. Here's a participant in the challenge that did Switch It this week with her 1st grade small groups. I can't wait to see how they do on progress monitoring tomorrow. Woohoo! We are required to monitor our students every 3 weeks to show progress. I think that after this week, they will have more than 10 sounds and will be able to blend the nonsense words this time. So excited. Yes, that is awesome. Okay, so it depends on what you mean by the entire program, because we have a lot of things for people who want to go in depth. But if you want to get the gist of our system and learn that 3-component lesson plan, how to plan small group instruction, and how to also differentiate for literacy centers, that is an 8 to 10 hour course. In other words, it's about 9 hours of video watching. And after each activity that you learn, we recommend that you go try it out. So it's very similar to this Switch It challenge. You learn a little bit about it by watching videos and hearing some coaching, and then you go try it out. And so that cycle can take you a week. It can take you a month. It's really up to you, but just know that there's 9 hours of video, because we're going to learn an entirely new system of how to teach anyone how to read. And I would love to be able to wave my magic wand and give it to you, download it a la Matrix style, but I can't. Nevertheless, 9 hours is really fast to get the opportunities that you will get. So yeah, make that decision about whether this is good for you with grad school. And this applies for everybody. I wanted to show you the main course. What I recommend is to commit to something very small every day. This is how I got through my dissertation. I had 2 small kids, preschool kids, and I was a grad instructor at the university, and I just would never have time to get to my dissertation, because doing a dissertation is always like, it's like not something you just sit down and do for 5 minutes and put away and you're good to go. It felt like this massive thing. I had to have a big block of time to commit to it. Well, I stumbled across somebody's idea to just do commit to 7 minutes a day. And I was like, oh, I could do that. And I could see how that would keep me having the momentum going, so that even if I was literally only doing 7 minutes for 2 or 3 days in a row, on the 4th day, maybe I would do 2 hours. And that's exactly what happened. I was able to not go like 2 weeks not having done it. And then when I came back to it, I was like, where the heck was I? It was very frustrating initially. So that small commitment propelled me forward. It's just the momentum that I needed. So that's what I suggest to you guys. Can you do 7 minutes? Can you do 10? Can you do 20? Give up Facebook, except for these trainings, for a month, and you'll be done. If you do 20 minutes a day, you'll be done in less than a month to learn a whole new way of teaching anyone how to read. So this is the entire course right here. Inside of each of these units is the 9 hours of video all together. Now, we also have other things for folks who want to go deeper, but they're not necessary to learn the course system. This is for the folks who maybe have children with some profound difficulties, or maybe when they want to learn more later, or maybe they're a tutor. So there's enrichment beyond that in these advanced courses. They're each 1 hour. And the other thing that's helpful is we have over here in resources, we have this podcast just for members of the Academy. So if you're a member and you log into your Reading Simplified account on your phone and then go to this page, you can click a button and get this video, all the videos turned into audio inside the Academy that you can listen while you're walking or driving or doing the laundry or the dishes or whatever. So that is usually good as like if you need a refresher, listen to something again. If you're learning about Sort It, you watch the video once and then you do it with the kid and then you want to think about it again, then that is a nice way to circle back around. And that's a newer thing that we've added. If you remember and you didn't know about it, go check it out, please. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question and then do the grand prize. Maybe, Deb, you're answering someone's question there. We often focus on paired contrast for the switch it activity, but when you get into our mostly decodable texts, they're cumulative. So if we teach A in one text, in the next text we teach A and I, and then the next text we teach A and I again, and the next text we teach A and I again, and then we add O, and we'll still have A, I, and O. So there is, I guess, in a sense, paired contrast built in because the decoding knowledge is cumulative. When we get to the O sound, O is in go and boat and note, show. When we get to that level, that's the first step in advanced phonics, and then so it's pretty easy. And then when we get to the next sound, which is E is in he or E is in many, etc., we bring the O sound with us. So we're studying E and we're studying O. So in a sense, paired contrasts are included in the decodable text. But generally, when I had been talking about that concept before, I was thinking about switch it. But you're right, that's one of the problems that we have with other decodable texts. If you have a text that's just short I all the time, the kid doesn't have to really think about whether it's I or eh. But if you pack in multiple sounds, especially if they've learned them before, you'll get the transfer. Okay, so I'm sorry if I didn't get your question. I bet some of our fabulous ambassadors and fans here probably answered them really well. We've got a lot of folks who really know their stuff about the Reading Simplified system. And I think we should have our drawing, shouldn't we? Okay, here we go. Thank you so much to Greg. He's our team member in the Philippines who has been serving you guys in all sorts of behind the scenes ways, including tracking down all these names. So if you posted for all 5 days, commented on all 5 days posts for the homework for the Level Up Challenge this past week, you were entered into the grand prize. And the grand prize, again, is a set of phonic books from the company Phonic Books, a set of whole phonics books, a set of Crazy Long's game cards from Sound Readers, a Legiliner, self-inking stamp, and a full digital download of the Reading Simplified materials for 1 grade level. So it is several $100s. And we're going to draw for it now. Here we go. Did you see that? Sarah Blair. Sarah Blair, were you here? Thank you for the drum rolls. I need a drum roll sound effect, don't I? This is very, very gracious of you. You feel like a winner just by learning about Switch It. If you did all 5 days posting, your name should have been there. So Sarah Blair, if you're here, oh, you were so close. Sarah Blair might not be here, but hopefully she will catch this on the replay. And also Greg will reach out to her via Facebook Messenger. If we can't find her that way, we'll hopefully find her via email. Yeah, it is a great prize. So I think I saw your name, Kim. Maybe I don't remember. Congratulations. Getting on all 5 days, commenting on each day's post, not in the video. That was one of the things that was tricky for some folks. It was written every day in the emails, but I know that there was so much to receive from this. And in the big picture is the bigger idea is, did you get an activity that you didn't have previously that your kids are now rocking out, and you know another way of leveling them up by thinking about how to improve their letter sound knowledge and how to improve their phonemic development by pushing those levels each day? You will, like I think our previous person said, that's really better than any prize. So thank you all for participating. You're welcome, Karen and Heather. I'm glad that you got to hear our feedback and other feedback. And oh yeah, these are so cute. The Leggy liner. It wasn't very expensive. All right, so team, just to recap, there is a recap page. If you don't remember, please go check that out. If you missed any or all of the Level Up Challenge, this will be here until Wednesdays, all in one place to catch the videos. And if you think that Switch It is pretty amazing, I know you'll be amazed to figure out how to put the whole system together. So we invite you to Kim's asking for the link to join the Academy. If you could pop that in there, Greg, that would be great. So this recap page, by the way, will give you the link to the Academy right here, that purple button. But also you can get the link from Greg, and then we would love to see you on the inside of the Reading Simplified Academy. We have a system there, but we also have so much support for you. I'm very proud of all of the teaching assistants we have there, plus just volunteers from all over the world that support you, including me, helping you answer your questions. So if just like you've seen the support from this week, really, except we're less likely to miss any question because we're just better at catching everything in the teacher's lounge, almost everything. So if you have a question or you want to celebrate about a particular topic that you're learning about, Switch It or Read It or Sort It or whatever, we're there to help you. You can see what other people have been writing just in the last 5 hours. And it's also part of learning the system. When you go through the main course and you do a lesson like the welcome lesson, you have an assignment, and the welcome assignment is to go say hello. And then when you get to the intro to the Reading Simplified framework, your assignment in the teacher's lounge is to say, what was your aha about this framework? Because, well, we don't need to see the quiz, we need to see the actual video. This is our framework. There it is. What did you learn? What was your aha about it from there? And so we guide you through reflecting in the teacher's lounge. But like I said, also we're there to answer your questions. So we would love to see you in there. We've already gotten about 60 folks who are jumping in, and I know many more of you will consider it and jump in. There's a link to join. And if you want to reach out to your school district to pay for it, then just have them email us at admin@readingsimplified.com. We can send your school an invoice, get a purchase order, and then they write a check. So if you request that before Wednesday, we can give you that lower offer. Your school should be paying for it, but I know a lot of us pay out of pocket. When I first learned the system that is kind of the backbone of Reading Simplified, it was called phonographics. I paid $750 of my own money and went to a 5-day training. I know that's just how teachers often have to roll, but our school can pay for it. So jump right in. Thank you, Heather, for saying thank you. I'm always glad to see your encouraging face. Jennifer loves to go to the teacher's lounge and read the success stories and answer questions. So I hope to talk to you all again soon. We have the most supportive community we'll find everywhere. Yeah. Besides the teacher's lounge, another bonus we have is a private Facebook group called just for the Reading Simplified Academy members. So there's 2 ways of getting some support depending on what's your style. And I didn't bring water and I really have to cough, so it must be a sign that we should head out. Thank you all so much for being here. Been a treat. Keep letting us hear about your celebrations inside the Facebook group, or if you want to email us, that would be great to hear how this continues into next week. Don't let last week be a one-time and done kind of thing. Keep the momentum going. And even if you're not able to join in the Reading Simplified Academy at this time, you can still keep leveling up with Switch It and then learn more about the other activities that also save you time at readingsimplified.com. And we'll welcome you into the Reading Simplified Academy when the time is right. Yeah, Deb says the support is great, and she's part of that. So thank you so much again. I'm very honored to have had your attention. I hope it's made a difference for you and your students. Here's to making great readers.